Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. We continue reading from Imam Al-Ghazali's Jawahir al-Qur'an, the Juz of the Qur'an. We have read during the last session verses that Imam Ghazali included from Surah An-Nisa, 2 verses warning the people of the book not to exceed the limits. But both of them are also about the human nature of Jesus Christ, and that it's denying any divinity, stressing Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from Surah Al-Ma'idah also, the practically again the first verse included here, and the last ones are about Jesus Christ, peace upon him. Again, stressing there the humanity of Jesus Christ and the humanity of Maryam alayhi salam. Now, today, inshallah, we'll read 45 verses from Surah Al-An'am. They include references to creation, the universe, but also the human beings in the first 3. Then stressing Tawheed again. And since this is about Al-An'am, we have also direct reference to the fauna, the animal kingdom, if you will, that they are created. So there's creation of the universe, creation of the human beings, but also creation of everything. If you look at all these verses, you'll find that it's the universe and everything in the universe. So matter, humanity, the animal kingdom, but also there are direct references to specific plants, as we will see. So the flora and fauna included in these verses. So we continue, inshallah. 45 verses from the surah of the cattle, Al-An'am. All praise is due to God, who created the heavens and the earth and made darkness and light. Yet those who disbelieve set up equals with their Lord. It is He who created you from clay and then decreed a term. The term basically here in translation, the day of death. But one can think about a term for humanity at large, since the universe itself will come to an end. If you think about the sun coming to an end, والشمس تجري لمستقر لها, it cannot be only that our sun, the star in our solar system, and if the sun dies, it's going to. There are phases, of course. If it reaches its natural end, well, it could be way before that. If it reaches its natural end as a reservoir of energy, and it becomes it expands and it engulfs the planets one after the other. But there is a term It is He who created you from clay and then decreed a term. A term is fixed with Him, yet you entertain doubt. He alone is God in the heavens and the earth. He knows your secret thoughts and your outward acts. He knows your secret and your outward, meaning what you entertain in terms of your ideas, and also knows whatever you acquire. الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون هو الذي خلقكم من طين ثم قضى أجله وأجل مسمى عنده ثم أنتم تمترون وهو الله في السماوات وفي الأرض يعلم سركم وجهركم ويعلم ما تكسبون. And also knows whatever you acquire. Think about what you acquire, not in terms of your material acquisitions, what you do also. لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. That's also part of the kasb in terms of action, good or evil. To Him belongs all that exists in the night and the day. He is the all-hearing, the all-knowing. Say practically to the disbelievers, shall I take as protector someone other than God, originator of the heavens and the earth, who feeds all and is not fed? Tell them, I have surely been commanded to surrender to God completely. I have also been commanded, never be of those who associate partners with God. Tell them also, assuredly I fear, if I were to disobey my Lord, the punishment of an awful day, meaning the day of judgment. He from whom the punishment is averted on that day will have been shown mercy by God. That is the manifest triumph. وله ما سكن في الليل والنهار وهو السميع العليم. قل غير الله أتخذ وليا فاطر السماوات والأرض وهو يطعم ولا يطعم. قل إني أمرت أن أكون أول من أسلم ولا تكونن من المشركين. قل إني أخاف إن عصيت ربي عذاب يوم عظيم. من يصرف عنه يومئذ فقد رحمه وذلك الفوز المبين. وإن يمسسك الله بضر فلا كاشف له إلا هو وإن يمسسك بخير فهو على كل شيء قدير هو القاهر فوق عباده هو الحكيم الخبير. So that is the manifest triumph. If God were to afflict you, there is none that can remove the affliction but He. If He were to bestow upon you some good, He has the fullest power over everything. He is supreme over His servants. He is the all-wise, the all-aware. وذلك الفوز المبين, triumphing over evil, but really for the particular person, success is in really making it, and it's not your achievement in the absolute sense. It has been already said that it's a mercy from God. You are still required to do that which is good, to fulfill your obligations, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to submit to His will, to live as best as you can according to the Sharia, the law. What is it? The treaded Sharia, is the treaded path. That is the law here. And by the way, the word Sharia in Arabic and the word halakha in Hebrew, the Jewish law, the etymology of both words, the two meanings, in fact, there's only one meaning. The meaning is identical in both of the word Sharia and the word halakha, Sharia in Arabic and halakha in Hebrew, which is used in a reference to the law. It is in Christianity practically that the law was dropped. Lord Jesus Christ, peace upon Him, confirmed the law. it's obvious that he confirmed the law, meaning the Mosaic law, the Mosaic Sharia. He confirmed that, but I believe it's the impact. It's the Pauline Paul's impact, one way or the other. There is not an animal that moves about in the earth, nor a bird that flies on its two wings, but forms communities like you, and we have neglected nothing in the book, in the Quran. Then to their Lord they will be gathered together. وما من دابة في الأرض ولا طائر يطير بجناحه إلا أمثالكم ما فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء ثم إلى ربهم يحشرون. This it's an amazing verse that all these animals, when you say the animal kingdom, literally they are considered communities, but communities like you. So there is that sense of we do use certain language that originally it reflects human relations. We say tribe, we say sometimes we use the word matriarch, or sometimes we use the word king in reference, for example, to lions. But the idea is that they are communities. And the idea that nothing we have neglected in the book, we have neglected nothing in the book. ما فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء. Subhanallah, this one can think about universals, one can think about specific particulars, but it in one case it was the meaning was taken to be considered that everything exists in the Quran. There is no doubt that there is a reference to the roots, the sometimes general references, but this does not mean that the Quran is biology 101, physics 101, astrophysics 101, physiology 101. This, the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala referred us to the signs in the universe and in ourselves, and it means that we look for knowledge, specific knowledge in the universe. When the Prophet ﷺ reached Medina, and the Prophet basically is Meccan, and they knew trade and they did not know agriculture. And until today, it pretty much it'll be the same. Though they could basically on the outskirts of Mecca, they could create some greenhouses, if you will, or something like that. But essentially, the reference to Mecca, بِوَادٍ غَيْرِ ذِي زَرْعٍ, a valley without vegetation. It was and still is scorched volcanic rocks, as if they have just been taken out of the oven, radiating heat, and literally subhanallah, that people continued for thousands of years to live in Mecca. So the Meccans were and primarily still are people of business, not of agriculture. So when they migrated to Medina, Medina is an oasis where as a child, we have lived in Medina as a family, and I remember that in certain places there were springs, water springs, and I could see the water running in the fields beneath these palm trees and what have you. So the Prophet ﷺ saw the pollination of the palm trees, and palm trees are both male and female, and you just simply cut off a male organ and you just stick it to the female organ. Today, they harvest the male organs from the palm trees, and they make a spray, and they just simply pass through the palm trees and they spray the female palm trees, and this is how they do the pollination artificially. If you leave it to the natural uh, usual players, if you will, like bears and bees, and you'll still have pollination, but not like when the farmers interfere through their experience. The Prophet ﷺ suggested that they will leave that season without pollination, and the season was um, did not have much yield like as usual. And this hadith had ta'bir al-nakhl. The Prophet later on, when they told him that the season was not good, he mentioned something extremely important, a very important hadith for the practical things for the community. He said, "You know the affairs of your world better. You know, أنتم أدرى أعلم بشؤون دنياكم." So this is in terms of the a comment on ما فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء. It is true, but the details, of course, to seek details, you seek details where you should find them. If it's something that belongs to nature, then you look for that in nature. If it's something that is in the human beings, then that's exactly where you look for it. If it's something in the universe, that's exactly where you look for it. That's what the Qur'an says. Because when I came across this book with the title موسوعة ما فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء, the encyclopedia of and it does use this phrase, the encyclopedia of we have neglected nothing in the book. That's I didn't. On the one hand, it's lovely to try to enumerate things, but on the other, that's not what it should. That's not what it means. Wallahu alam. Ask the believers, tell me, if God were to take away your hearing and your sight, and to seal up your minds, who is the God other than God? Who could bring them back to you? Observe how we expound the signs in the universe in diverse ways, yet they turn away from the truth. Ask, tell me, if God's punishment came upon you suddenly or after a warning, will any be destroyed except the wrongdoing people? قل أرأيتم إن أخذ الله سمعكم وأبصاركم وختم على قلوبكم من إله غير الله يأتيكم به انظر كيف نصرف الآيات ثم هم يصدفون قل أرأيتكم إن أتاكم عذاب الله بغتة أو جهرة هل يهلك إلا القوم الظالمون. Do not take things for granted. Think about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed on you, on us, including two of the most important senses, hearing and and seeing, and they have been mentioned here in the order of their not importance, but in the order of their development. A child would hear immediately, but it would take time for the foresight to become fully functional, if you will. And this is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. So the first thing that we become aware of, not that the other senses are not working, but the first thing immediately is hearing. It takes some time for the babies to see fully the way adults see. Don't take things for granted. And if these are taken from you, and added to this is sealing up your minds, translating قلوب وختم على قلوبكم, sealing up your minds. If the minds are sealed, in the sense, if they are prevented from recognizing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's when people insist on denying the existence of God and the proper relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the proper tawheed. With him are the keys of the unseen. None knows it but he. He knows whatever is in the land and in the sea. Not a leaf falls but he knows it, nor is there a grain in the darkness of the earth, nor anything green or dry, but is recorded in a clear book. And the clear book is a reference to في كتاب مبين, a reference to the preserved tablet, اللوح المحفوظ. He it is who takes your souls into custody by night and knows whatever you do by day. When he raises you up during the day, that a term that has been appointed may be complete, then to him is your return. Then he will inform you of that which you used to do. He is supreme over the servants, that is, people, and sends guardian angels, that is, and sends guardians to watch over you until when death comes to any of you, our deputed angels of death, meaning our deputed, take his soul, and they do not fail in the discharge of their duty in any respect. Then they are returned to God, their true protector. Take notice, His is the judgment, and He is the swiftest of reckoners. Tell the polytheist, tell, who is it who delivers you from the darkness, that is the calamities, of the land and the sea, when you call upon God humbly and secretly, saying, if He delivers us from this, we will surely be among the grateful. Tell them it is God who delivers you from them and from every other distress. Yet you associate partners with Him. Tell the polytheist, He, that is God, is able to send you punishment from above you, or from beneath your feet, or to throw you into confusion, making you of different parties, and involve you with each other in violence. Observe how we expound the signs in diverse ways, that they may understand. So these verses from Surah Al-An'am, from 59 to 65, show that with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the keys of the unseen. Of course, only we know only that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted us to know, and that remember the verse of the throne, Ayat al-Kursi. It has a direct reference to our relative and partial knowledge, cumulative knowledge. Humanity's cumulative knowledge will always be only partial. ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء. So of course there will be that which we do, that which we do not know, or which we do not know. And again, there is a direct reference to the to knowing all the particulars, all the specifics, every leaf and every grain. Think atom because it has been mentioned. Think mustard seed because it has been mentioned in the Qur'an. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows all of these, and this is also it could be like a response to the philosophers whom Al-Ghazali declared non-believers on three grounds. One of them is that they claim that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the universes and not the particulars. And here it's very clear, not that we doubt this, but this is a reference to knowledge of the universes and particulars as well. And there's a confirmation of the of this temporal life, that it has a beginning and it has an end for each individual, and that the angels will ultimately fulfill their role in taking his soul, and they will be returned to God. And on the day of judgment, He will swiftly hold them accountable. And then there is the a reference to times of distress. If people are, for example, ظلمات البر والبحر, whether it's a calamity that takes place on land or in the sea. And of course, for us nowadays, if anything happens during flights, there is immediate, probably people on land will not be apprehensive as in the air. If there's any turbulence sometimes, and nowadays they have very serious turbulences, and that's not only nowadays. As a frequent flyer, I have had my share of I can say that once and only once the aeroplane was literally like a feather, and was really the wind could literally, you could feel that the wind was taking the aeroplane, not only a small turbulence. And the pilot tried, he changed the altitude several times until he found a place where, relatively speaking, it became a stable flight. But I'm talking about people, how people act during the flight. And I remember once a flight from Johannesburg to Durban. Literally, the hostesses were not allowed to serve people throughout the flight. They were they were required to stay in their seats, and when we landed, there was a family, and like I've shared my seat was next to a family on both sides of the aisle, and one of the young girls told her father on the other side, that daddy, mom is praying or was praying. Of course, of course. And I've seen, of course, I'm referring to people from different backgrounds pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's exactly what it is. قل الله ينجيكم منها ومن كل كرب ثم أنتم تشركون. The problem is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saves us all calamities. The problem is that people return to association. It should be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and no one else. We'll stop with verse 65. Inshallah, we'll continue in the next session with Allah Azza wa Jal. Until then, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.